Hi, I'm Lisa Alvarado, licensed professional counselor. So today I wanted to talk to you about how do you stop the negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is that little voice in your head that's filled with doubt, and as soon as you want to do something, you think of an idea or something that you just want to go after, and then all of a sudden your thoughts just start racing. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? What will people think? I'm not good enough. Who am I to do this thing? No one's going to buy from me, or I can't handle school and work. And, what's the point of even starting a new relationship? I'm just going to get hurt, and on and on and on. And it's just a bunch of negative thoughts that a lot of them are not even valid. But how do you stop them? That's the key. So I'll give you a couple tips to at least get you started in your journey. It does take some practice and consistency, but if you do it like every single day, you'll see results. So the very first step that I would say is track your thoughts, either on a piece of paper, index cards, or even on your phone. You have to discipline yourself, but for just a couple days, put two columns, and one column will be positive thoughts, another column will be negative thoughts. And every time you notice like a negative thought, so any kind of doubt, complaining, anything that doesn't make you feel good, put a little check mark on the negative column. And then when you notice a positive thought, put a check mark on the positive column. Now, we have over 65,000 thoughts a day, so it's going to be impossible for you to track every single thought, but just throughout the day as you're driving, sitting in class, in the house, it doesn't matter where you are, just kind of be more aware and just kind of ask yourself, well, what am I feeling right now? And usually the way how you feel tells you where your thoughts are. But just throughout the day, try to do a little check-in and see where your thoughts are. So this just kind of helps you be more aware of your thoughts. So if you do this consistently, you realize, oh my gosh, I have like 25 check marks on the negative side and like one in the positive side. Then obviously you're probably feeling kind of down, not motivated, tired, because most of your thoughts are negative. So just be aware. That's step number one. Then two, give yourself a little slack, okay? And remind yourself, most of our thoughts are planted in our mind from somewhere, basically, from past experiences, things that you watch on TV, the books that you read. These are things that we're not super aware of, but they do plant seeds in our mind. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad, it's just how it is. So if you grew up in an environment where you're always being criticized, or you were bullied, or even right now, if you're not in a healthy relationship, people around you just always criticizing you negative, how do you think you're going to feel? So just pay attention more. What kind of seeds basically are you planting in your mind? So then on purpose, you're going to plant positive seeds because, we're not all monks living in mountains. We have jobs and people that we deal with on a daily basis. And, you're going to always be exposed to negative people, negative thoughts. But if the goal is if you can somehow have 80% of your thoughts be neutral or healthy, and 20% negative, then obviously that outweighs it and then it's more bearable. But if 99% of your day is filled with negative thoughts, it's going to be very hard, almost impossible, for you to even be happy. Our thoughts always match how we feel, basically. Just being more aware of that and then on purpose plant positive seeds. So what I would recommend is be mindful of the stuff that you watch. If you're constantly watching like different reality shows that just filled with drama and always fighting and stuff, well, that's going to be more on your awareness. If you're always watching depressing shows, the same thing, so it's okay to watch these things, just don't overdo it, okay? So don't like binge watch for like 5 hours is like super depressing show, because now you're planting all these negative seeds unconsciously, especially when we watch TV. Then a lot of that stuff just goes straight to our subconscious a lot of times. But just being aware of that, the books that you're reading, the people that you follow on social media, do a little clean out. Go through your Facebook, Instagram, whatever, whatever social media site you use mostly, and really do a clean out. Are the people there, are they mostly productive? Are they teaching you something? Are they inspiring, just kind of helping you be a better person? Or is it filled with like indirects and just drama? Even if you're not involved with that directly, you're seeing that, and that does affect you. So try to be more aware of what you're allowing in your mind. Now, I understand with certain people in your life, you might not be able to get rid of them or you have to interact with them. So even more important for you to practice self-care and just take care of yourself before you have to like deal with those people. Because if you're really stressed and tired and then you have to see that family member or coworker or whatever that just kind of drains you, then they're really going to suck the energy out of you. But if you make sure that before you have to see them, you kind of do a couple deep breathing exercises, you watch maybe some comedies or just watch some funny videos or something, then it puts you in a state of mind a little bit more relaxed. So then it takes you a little longer to get to the point where you can't stand them anymore. Step 3 is to question your negative self-talk. Most of our thoughts, if you just let them be, they're on autopilot. Most of our thoughts are recycled basically. So the same things you're thinking today, you probably had the same thoughts yesterday. So then on purpose, question them. So for example, if you want to do something and then have all these thoughts creeping in of, I can't do this, who am I to do this, I'm going to fail, I already know I'm going to fail without you even trying, then stop, take a deep breath and question it. Okay, what are the odds of this failing? What can I do to lower the chances of me failing? Is this true? And a lot of times we assume the worst. So the point is you want to really question your thoughts. Don't just believe them. A lot of thoughts lie. A lot of times it's not even true and it's irrational. So instead of just letting them automatically take over, take control and really question them. So some of my favorite questions are, do I have control over this? If I don't, we'll have to let it go. I have no control over it. And if I have control over it, then I have to take action and do that thing that I can control. Another question is, well, what's the worst thing that could happen? Or will this matter in a day, a week, a year from now? Sometimes we worry about stuff and then like a week or two later, people forgot, or it's kind of like, you know what, whatever, nobody cares. And it helps you kind of just move on. Another one that I like to help you not assume is there another explanation for this? So the point is questions help you really challenge those negative thoughts. And then the last trick that I really like to really challenge your negative thoughts is to train your subconscious. So our subconscious mind is basically a database of all our past experiences. So just imagine almost like a tape recorder of everything you've been through. All of your experiences go straight to our subconscious. And if you have these experiences on repeat, just constantly, or they're very emotional, then it actually creates these like programs. So programs is just the things that you believe about yourself. You thought these thoughts so much that you think is true. And a lot of times they're not, but for you, you think it's true. So then what happens is we almost go into the self-fulfilling prophecy. So for example, let's say that, again, growing up, you had very highly critical parents or had these bullies in school that always put you down and is like, you suck, you're never going to be good enough, you're dumb, you're stupid. Then you heard it so much that you start to create a program in your mind of, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I can't do this. So you see how to the other point, how these are planted in your mind basically. So what you do in your subconscious, now it does take some work, but be aware of it. Notice when these thoughts are triggered. So what is it that triggers it? And instead of just ignoring it or just thinking, oh, this is just how it is, stop and question them. And this one you can either do the questioning your thoughts we just did, or my favorite thing is to add healthier messages into your mind. We can't erase the past. It already happened, but we can try to plant more positive experiences. So for example, again, if you have this thought of I'm not good enough, really think about times where you did achieve something that you wanted. It might not seem like a big deal to others, but to you it was a big deal. So that's evidence that you can do it. I like to also plan a bunch of affirmations or quotes. Affirmations are really misunderstood. No, you're not just repeating these positive thoughts and just like, I am good enough, or I am, no, it's not going to work if you don't believe it, because you're lying to yourself, right? If you're telling yourself, I am beautiful, and deep down that little voice is like, yeah, right, it's not going to work. So instead, play around with the words. You can say something like, I'm working on feeling more beautiful. I'm working on being stronger. You know what? I'm finally taking charge of my life and I'm working on being more confident. So you kind of constantly keep repeating these statements to yourself, and now you're planting more positive seeds in your mind. So with our subconscious, there's more work. There's also hypnosis. That could be a great way if you have access to that. But a lot of it is being very aware and then on purpose changing that, like challenge your behavior and your thoughts. Instead of automatically reacting, you can take control. Okay, I hope that you found this video helpful. Try some of these tips, at least to get you started and being aware. Like I said before, it's going to take some time and consistency, but if you do this every day, just being more self-aware and on purpose challenging some of this negative talk, you're going to see that at first it's going to get softer. Maybe right now you're very rude to yourself and you're always beating yourself up all day. Then, you'll notice that you're a little bit more kinder, and then you'll beat yourself up like your third or fourth thought. But then eventually you'll start to notice a shift where you don't automatically go into the negative self-talk. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and of course share it with your friends or anyone that you know it can help. And please leave a comment below and let me know what has helped you, which of these tips you found the most useful, and hopefully you put some of these into practice, and then you can check in with me and let me know how it's been. Don't forget to subscribe, and take care.